All right, here we go. Today's set of nails is a full set of acrylic sculpted nails, Game of Thrones inspired, fire and ice, all of this right now in real time. All right, Trace, walk us through this real-time demo of what you're gonna do. I'm excited about it because of course it's Game of Thrones. You know how much I love Game of Thrones. Talk us through what you're gonna do here.
So client is just a die-hard Game of Thrones person, even though she actually has never seen the show. She will be. We're gonna do, of course, I'm not a big fan of literal. We've talked about that before, art. We're really thinking kind of something she can wear, but kind of on that fire and ice thing. And right now it's kind of hot to be wearing two separate looks on each hand. Shape will be the similar or same, and the flow will be the same, but we'll have fire and we'll have ice, or ice and fire, whatever.
Perfect, perfect. And this is it's a full set of acrylic sculpts, correct? Okay.
Liquid art, glitter, mylar, foil. We got a lot of stuff going on.
Okay, the big question now is how long is this going to take you in real time?
Well, been sick, haven't slept, real tech life right there.
Right.
So I'm going for an hour.
Okay, 1 hour?
Yeah.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay, let's get started by pushing back those cuticles. Always important, though does not need to take a long time. What are we looking for? If it's a new customer, we're looking for any damage, any bit nails, any ski slope nails, anything that I'm gonna kind of run into while I'm doing her nails that I didn't see when she texted me a picture. Don't remember if I did that one, we'll just do it for a good measure. And if she's doing a fill, then we're looking for like, you know, is there any lifting? Is there anything broken? But again, it doesn't need to take long. Let's go into that prep work with that medium crust cut bit that I love so much. That just tucks right in there. How's it going today, Steph?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
I'm excited for my nails.
You're excited to get nails that you've never watched?
It's not literal, remember? It's just the design.
There's just a little fire and ice today. Are we going through with the prep work? Now again, we've talked about this before, but if you're kind of new and you haven't seen it before, I just want to make sure that I'm cleaning up that cuticle area. She has a little bit of acrylic left over, which isn't going to matter in the long run. We are just going to go right over it. But prep work really should take you total about 2 to 5 minutes max. And 2 to 5 minutes would include pushing back those cuticles, removing the shine from the natural nail. It would include swiping it clean, which we're getting ready to do, and then your protein bond. A little more acrylic there. Okay, let's be done with that. We're gonna grab our swipe. We're gonna grab our brush. Let's pump some swipe in there. And we're gonna go through and make sure those nails are nice and clean.
There's been some questions about swipe. Is it extremely necessary, or can you use another type of solution?
I will say, I mean, there's other prep stuff like this out there. I would say please don't use like a rubbing alcohol or an acetone, and there's a couple reasons why. A rubbing alcohol sometimes still has like buffers and oils and stuff like that in it, and it will not cleanse the nail the proper way. Acetone can actually over dehydrate the nail, in which both instances can cause lifting. So we really want to use something that's made for dehydrating, cleaning the nail, and getting it just to the level that we want. And I'm open and honest, there's other products that can do that too, but that is what you want to use. And I'm a firm believer, like if there's a step you can skip or something you can use that's cheaper, I will tell you. But you do not want to skip something like swipe. It's going to really help prevent the lifting. And plus, just get rid of all that dust and stuff. Going through, I'm going to do those 2 coats of protein bond all the way through. That way we don't have to worry about her lifting anytime soon. All the way. We're just making sure we're getting a nice coat through. It's not like an acid primer. We have to actually spread it across the whole nail. It doesn't spread itself. And we want to make sure that we don't oversaturate the cuticle area. What I did when I first started with it is I started getting lazy and oversaturating the cuticle area, which actually can cause lifting in itself. Form time. Let's get some foams on.
When you're putting the back of the form on there like that, what's the reason?
It actually makes it just a little more sturdy, not so flimsy, and that way you can really get your curve in there, and it's just easier to do. Let's pinch them through. Ooh, these are the new forms. I mean, same material and everything, but they got the new branding on it, and it's kind of more of a purple tone. That's cool.
I like them.
I like them. I think I saw someone ask last time, like, is there a reason why you don't have to customize her forms? Are you just lucky? And yes, yes, I am just lucky. I don't have to customize her form. This one always is like, do I need to square form it? But it works. And what I can recommend, because obviously this is all about speed and technique, I would, if you're sitting down at the salon and you have some spare time, cut yourself some square forms and just put them back on the wax paper, and then you don't have to stress about it if someone comes in with square. Like I have 2 square, the rest are oval, and you just don't want to fight it. It's just easier to cut them.
And if you're not familiar, we have a really good YouTube video on how to customize forms for all different nail shapes.
Yeah, it makes a big difference. We got, you know, because you get people that have bitten nails, you have people that have square nail beds, which is very similar to the bitten nail bed. And then you have people who have big, happens with the thumb sometimes, like their forms don't fit because their thumb is very large. And then you have extended hyponychium, so we teach you how to fix all that. Okay, we're going to only work with the hand that we have formed, that way she doesn't jack that one up. Let's grab our clear, let's go with ice on this one. Grab our blue liquid art, we're going to grab some Mylar. We're just going to spread it out with our hands. Break it up. Let's grab some foil. This always flies everywhere. I'm pretty sure everybody in the warehouse hates me for this foil. Because it literally goes everywhere. They're like, we don't even know how to actually weigh this stuff practically. We had to figure that one out. Now, what I do is I actually dye or use a Sharpie. So you're going to grab a different brush for your liquid art. And so you want to know which one's for clear, which one's for liquid art. I dye the back end or Sharpie the back end. That way I know. Ooh, glitter.
That's smart.
I'm going to grab my favorite glitter mix, which is just a bunch of iridescents. All of our iridescents. So we have like Rockstar, we have like, what else we have in there? Crushed Pearl, Diamond Dust,
Funk-A-Delic.
Funk-A-Delic. We have it all. Let me just pull it out. Ooh, I like these. It's nice. Let's put some Mylar in there. Maybe
talk about the liquid art a little bit.
So liquid art, we get a lot of questions about liquid art, like is it, what do we get, the food dye? Is that what people ask? It is not food dye. We're going to put a little clear on her nail bed, that way we don't stain it with the liquid art. It is monomer. So what we do with that is, I knew she was coming in, so I pre-made, but we use regular monomer and our liquid art with it, and that's how we use it. You want to add monomer, regular monomer to it. Even though it is a monomer, you still want to add some regular monomer so it sets up faster. And plus you're always going to want a cap. We're just picking up. Now we always say, or I always say, the first nail is going to take me the longest because I'm really kind of trying to still work out my design work. So let's see, we're going to cap. Put a little more glitter in there, and then we're going to cap actually in that blue liquid art. So you can add a lot or a little blue liquid art. It depends what look you're getting or going for. Yeah. We got some ass nails. Okay, let's go through. I'm just going to get the blue tone that I want, and then I'm going to cap the rest in the clear once I have the look. That way I don't keep on adding more blue liquid art and get it darker than I want. And I think I just literally switched my brushes. Just did what I told you not to do.
So for people who aren't familiar with the liquid art, it stains pretty good.
Yeah, it stains and it comes very full. So you really want to take that dropper and suck up the excess before you just plunge the dropper in. And then, I don't know about you, Steph, but I swore people were stealing my product.
I was just going to say that.
Because if you leave the dropper in, it evaporates. And you will swear. You're like, who is stealing my stuff?
Yeah.
It's because it's evaporating. It is monomer. So you want to go ahead and cap it after you've used it. Don't leave the dropper in there.
Yeah, it comes with a regular lid as well as the eyedropper.
Yeah.
And make sure you keep the regular lid or it'll disappear on you.
Yep.
And you'll be blaming all your salon mates.
Totally. Okay, I think I kind of have a feel of what I'm going for. So let's go. This one, we're going to kind of come up in here. Just with the regular blue. And just have fun with it. Again, I'm not into literal art. And as you can see, I'm not about sitting here stressing myself about where each piece of Mylar goes or if everything's going to be exactly matching. It's artwork. Have fun with it. Play with it. And just throw it down. So I think for people like me, I don't know about you, Steph, but I cannot draw to save my life. So if someone wants literal Game of Thrones, like dragons and stuff, I'm going to send them elsewhere. And I find that I think people are just as happy with this kind of look, and it takes you a lot less time, and you still get paid very well for it. But to those talented people out there that can draw it, God bless you. Okay, so we're just working it down, getting our strength and our structure with that clear.
I like the less literal sometimes because you are wearing sets for a few weeks. Sometimes you get sick of looking at, like if we did have like a set that was, the dragon or whatever.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I'm over the Game of Thrones
now.
now. Like,
sometimes you just want a little more.
I went to my Game of Thrones party and now I'm over it, right?
Yeah.
It's something you can continue to wear, and that's what I like to do, whether it's for Christmas parties,
yeah,
Valentine's Day, or whatever it is. It's like, but to each his own.
Yeah.
I mean, some people want to wear a full nativity scene on their hands. I'm like, I'm just not the tech for you.
Like we said, there's a clientele for all,
Yeah.
and that's amazing for those artists that are able to do that.
I mean, you can draw. Oh, Jesus, I've seen your work.
Sometimes.
So, was it like an on and off switch?
Yes.
Or, okay.
Sometimes I can do it, sometimes not so much.
Come back and pinch, really, especially since we're going long. I really like to make sure we get that pinch in. Okay, this one, I think I want to go ahead and do kind of like a smile line. Let's attempt it. Grab a good amount. Put it down. Habib's been awfully quiet today.
I know.
Worries me. Nothing to say today, Habib?
I have too much to say.
Yeah, you were always talking. Come back to that one. Let's get some clear.
I think it's like when you're watching an intense movie, because he seems to do that a lot during the real times. He gets a little more quiet during the real time sets.
He's like stressed.
Yeah, he's like, is she gonna do it? I don't know. What's gonna happen? The suspense.
It's true. It's suspenseful.
They try to be the one doing it.
No, thank you.
That's what some of the comments have been too, that they feel anxiety when watching it. And I'm like, I mean, it's honestly real life. That's how you feel in the salon, because okay, my next client's coming in an hour, like, as much as you're focused on what you're talking about and what you're doing, in the back of your mind, you know that on the hour, your next one's walking in, so you better get it done.
Yeah. And it happens too. I mean, I really have always tried to not run late for my clients because I don't think that's good. We expect them to be on time, so therefore we should be on time, but it happens. I mean, you're not feeling well. Life just fell apart on you. Your kid needs to be picked up from school, and whatever it is, it happens. Just try not to stress yourself out, because then you're just even going to run yourself even farther behind. Take a deep breath. In fact, I was just talking to a nail tech the other day, and she is fast, and she's like, I was almost an hour behind all day.
It happens, and it's a very, very stressful feeling for sure.
We try to keep it. I think I've talked about it before. I had someone that worked at my salon, and she was always an hour behind, and it stressed me out. And then when she would, one time that she would actually be running on time, she'd be like, I don't understand why my client isn't here. I'm like, your client is not used to you being on time. That's why your client's not here.
It becomes a standard.
Yeah. Why would they show up when they know they're going to have to wait 30 minutes?
I mean, you even hear, like, customers say that, like, oh, well, I don't need to. She's always, like, 10 minutes late, or she's always, you know, they start to kind of pick up on the habits as well.
Yeah, they get used to your buffers, whatever you normally do. So try to, and that's part of, like, trying not to answer the phone. I mean, if your kids or something calls, obviously, or the school, you got to, but if you, for the most part, don't pick up the phone, you or answer your text messages or whatever it's you're doing, kind of like that, not having them. I talk through to myself a lot through this stuff. Then you, for the most part, you'll be running on time, but crap happens. So we're just doing her smile line. I kind of let the pink set up before I come back to it. That way I don't mush the pink down as I'm pushing in the clear. So I just worked on the other nail. Hey, look at that. We're not even going to charge you for that foil I just put in there. Get out. Don't want you. Okay. All the way through. A bit more. And let's go to your thumb. Actually, I want a little bit more on the tip. When I'm working with clear on clear, it's hard to see. Like, I always tend to put too little over. Let's do a little clear on that body. The reason we're doing the clear on the body is we want to make sure that we don't, when I file off or she wants a change out or whatever it is, that we don't have to go all the way down to our natural nail. I just have to go down that clear. It just kind of protects the nail, especially from liquid art that stains, and it does stain your clothing also. I learned that the hard way. There. Helps if you pick something up when you go to it. There we go. Foil. On there. Okay, let's cap. Let's do a little, we'll cap in some of this time.
You're gonna be very, like, dimensional.
Yeah, that's what we want. So, someone kind of ruined the end of the last episode for you, Habib. A little bit?
No.
No.
Not really.
It's like, no spoiler alerts.
I don't like to know, like, anything.
No?
Like zero. But no, I kind of knew already.
You knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
We won't give a spoiler alert here.
For anyone who hasn't caught up yet.
Yeah. Well, you got a lot to go, girl.
Yeah. Greg and Katie were talking the other day because one hadn't seen Avengers and one hadn't seen Game of Thrones, so they were like, I won't ruin it for you if you don't ruin it for me.
hate that. My husband's like that with football games. He's like, nobody talk to me.
Yeah.
Nobody say a word.
Don't get online.
It's like, well, don't piss me off and I won't look it up real quick. No, we still need that. We're going to remove. Thank you. We can put that one away. Clean that up. Trash. Let's move on. How are we doing? Ooh, I kind of want those. I need you to put some nails on me for vacation.
Yeah.
So, has there been any questions lately?
I feel like for this video, there's probably going to be the question as to how would you, are you going to, like if I came back in 2 weeks, would you remove, would you fill?
Oh, heck no. You are fire and ice for a little bit. No, there are so many different things, and maybe we can do that on another episode. There's so many different things that you can do to change it up. So, no, I wouldn't remove the next one. My clients kind of knew that normally, typically, that was going to be a 30-minute appointment after a full set.
Okay.
So, I would do a fill, and then maybe we could do some manicure on a couple nails, or cover all of them in manicure, or add some black gel paint, and then do negative spacing so the glitter pops in the behind. There's so many different things you can do very quickly. However, let's say she's like, you know, the next time I have to get these off because I'm going to da-da-da-da-da. She just needs to tell me that ahead. So we schedule the right amount of time.
Okay.
Because typically that's going to be a 30-minute appointment for your next appointment.
Yeah, like if in 2 weeks I was in a wedding and I had to be all nude or something.
You don't want to be fire and ice for it. Yeah, so. And I think we had a lot of comments on our last video about pinching.
Yes.
Because I made a comment. Who knows what I said? Because I'm always rambling. But I know that I had talked about the pinching gel. And some people felt like I was saying that you cannot pinch gel. Totally can pinch gel. I'm just saying that if someone's a nail biter, if they have damaged nails and I can put acrylic on them, I'm going to put acrylic on them because I can pinch that way faster than I can gel. And honestly, I can get a better pinch in with acrylic because it grabs. It, like, once you grab it, it's like a cast, right? Once it grabs, you're good to go. So we grab our red brush and we're good to go. Let's see, let's put some clear down first before I do that. So yes, you can. However, if you have the option of doing acrylic, there's just certain times that I would recommend that you do acrylic and make your life easier. Again, these are kind of about speed or how long it would really take me, and I'm always going to pick something that's going to be the fastest possible. So that's why I'm going to normally, for those kind of people, I'm going to grab acrylic. But yeah, some people are like, your information is wrong. I'm like, oh no, I think you just misunderstood.
Yeah.
You can always take the time to do it. Let's get that out of the cuticle because we don't want to stain it. Ooh, cool. Let's cap some of that ink red and pop some more in. Get that little dimension going. Cool. Anything else? Any questions, thoughts, concerns?
What are your thoughts? Do you feel like if ever there's a necessary reason to remove nails, like if you have a return client, do you need to give them their nails a break at any time, or can they just continue wearing enhancements?
No, honestly, if they want to continue to wear them, they should just continue to wear them. There's no need. Your nails don't actually breathe. I will say that I was taught that they breathe, you know, but they don't. They don't have lungs, and plus it would not make sense to remove a set of nails and so they could breathe for 2 seconds and then suffocate them again. So no, they don't breathe. But if you're working with a consistent product that doesn't peach out. So I used to have to remove every once in a while. And the reason being is my product would peach out. I call it a dead nail color. So it would look, I don't know if you've ever worked with a product like that, but what would happen is after about 3 months, it would look peach, and it's not the color I go for. So you would do like a repair, right? And your repair is nice and fresh and clean and pink, and then one next to it's like this caca color. That's an official term, by the way.
Right.
The caca color that you get, and that's no good. So clean the brush out. I would have to remove, and that's why even for fills, I would remove. When I first met Greg, he watched me do a fill because I didn't realize it once I switched to Young Nails that their product didn't do that. So he's watching me do a fill, and I'm like removing all this stuff, and he's like, "What are you doing? Why are you doing that?" And it's because I thought I had to.
Right.
So that's why now we can do fills so quickly, is we're working with that color consistent product, and we don't have to worry about it. Let's see if I got another brush, because that one has some clear in it, and I'm not always keep extra brushes on hand. That's another, I don't want to have to sit here and worry about it soaking my brush or getting it clean. I want to be able to keep moving, so I just grab another brush and keep it going.
How do you clean your brushes? If they are like real gunked up.
If they're real gunked up, I use, I only use liquid to clean my brushes. So after I'm done with you, all the brushes will go in that liquid before I throw it out, and just get everything to dissolve, and we're good to go. So I used to go through brushes like crazy, because I would use a brush cleaner, or I would use a acetone. Yeah. Because that's what I was taught. And it strips your brush. It's like putting your hair in a bowl of acetone. You end up looking like Greg. And it works for him, but it won't work for your brushes. So we don't want that. So if you just leave them in liquid, it's a great way to clean them. And I keep my brushes for years that way. Yeah. Because brushes are expensive. And no matter how bad I want you guys to keep going through them, I won't do that to you. Just clean them. Let's see, is that the right one? Nope. Let's get some clear on here. So, what else we got? Anything? It's been a lot of questions, but I feel like we cover a lot of it.
Yeah, I mean, there's like you kind of went over the comments about my nail beds. If you do run into someone with, it's not necessarily a race. Like, I feel like they're trying to trip you up. Like, well, it wouldn't be that way if there was problematic nail. And you're right, it might take a little longer.
There's literally clients that I could do in 30 minutes, a full set. They're just really easy nail beds. And I mean, that's why I do recommend most of the time, I know your nail beds. But if you have a client and you're not sure and you can't tell in that picture, schedule an hour and a half if you have to. Once you get comfortable with it, you won't have to. But, at first, don't stress yourself out.
Well, and when it's all your clientele, you kind of know them. Even the exact same set on two people wouldn't always take me the same amount of time. Right. Because I knew that, she had those tricky nail beds, or she maybe was someone that damaged her nails more or grew faster. You could have two people that had the same set done on the same day, and their outgrowth is completely different.
Absolutely. And that's why I truly don't believe in, I'm going to do a little cheater. Just push in the product where I want it. I don't believe in charging per hour or anything like that, because I want to, if a client only takes me 30 minutes to do, and the next client takes me an hour, I'm not going to charge half the price for the person that took me half the time. I want my standard pricing, so I don't recommend doing that, but To each his own. Everybody does their own thing. So, I hear Habib. Is it okay, Habib?
Oh, you're good.
Am I stressing yet? Am I stressing you yet?
Not at all.
He's like, always?
He's like, yeah. Like, that's just typical, Tracey. So, I think I had someone the other day DM me, and they were asking about, I love the fact that everybody is starting to DM, and they're like, can you tell me how much you would charge for this? I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to have all these angry clients at my door yelling at me. But I love it. I think it's great. And I had someone ask about the fill, and they're like, when a client comes in and I have to remove everything for their fill, how long or how much do you charge for the fill? And that's not a fill. Like, once I remove everything, it's a full set. So I think that's another thing we really have to realize is, like, just because it was your client, a standard client that you've been doing, it's still not a fill. If it's a client that a normal client, it is a full set.
Well, and the difference between a basic fill in the outgrowth or a fill like a rebalance, that is two different things as well. I had someone DMing about that the other day, that they had a client that wanted or came in for a fill, and then their nails were like 5 weeks grown out, and so they were doing a lot more work than a basic fill.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that's no longer
That's
a fill.
not a fill.
That's a rebalance.
That's like restructuring everything. So I'm like, why is my liquid not, or am I having a hard time picking up acrylic? And it's because I had no liquid in my dish. So do that. So let's get some clear on this one, and we'll get to filing. The fun part. Yeah, I think it's hard sometimes, right, to really put your foot down with your clients, and I recommend always doing it in a nice manner, but you have to be stern. You're not, again, I always say, you're not asking permission, because they're never going to say, yeah, you should up your prices, or yeah, you should go on vacation. It's always, well, yeah, you should go on vacation. Now, that's not going to affect my appointment, is it? Like, oops, sorry. I'm showing you guys the back of my head.
I got a question the other day, how to prevent, like, how to deal when your clients are in the habit of bringing a pre-written check.
Oh,
So they want to come in and pay the same every single time. I told her that if they were getting the same every single time, then that's one thing, but they probably aren't.
yeah. It happens, and who writes checks anymore? It's Venmo. It does happen, and what I would say is you may let it slide the first time and be like, hey, by the way, you know, prices vary, you know, especially if you have your prices out so people can see that. Your set that you wanted today is actually this much. I'm going to go ahead and cut you a break. I hate saying that. Or you can pay me next time, half, that's better. But in the future, if you just wait until after your appointment to fill out your check, that will work even better, because, and that way you can get what you want. Otherwise, I'm only going to be able to do artwork that meets the price of the check you've written.
Yeah.
So again, nice conversation. Give them a warning. If they continue to do it, then literally go, okay, she's wrote her check out for $65 for her fill. She can have one glitter. And that's what she gets. Okay. Let's see what we got. How are we doing on time? Not bad. This is the worst part. Like, everything's everywhere. You can see how liquid art is everywhere. Okay, let's take our forms off. See if we made any mistakes. It's going to be a hard one deciding which one I like best.
I know.
I think it's going to be the ice.
I like them both.
You can just like tell people like what mood you are in.
Yeah.
Like feisty or calm.
I like them both a lot.
Okay, switching out to that coarse safety bit. And we're gonna turn on our file. Let's increase that speed to about 15, 16,000. Get those sides all overhanging. Head, sorry. Sorry, guys. This powder needs to go bye-bye before I knock it over. Okay. So I'm doing the overhand grip, and why I like the overhand grip is I'm actually able to pull her skin back. I'm able to tuck up in there and get exactly what I need to clean up without giving myself carpal tunnel. It's really a better way for your wrist. Turn that up a little bit. There we go. Then pulling it down the other way. It took me a long time to get used to it though. It was not convenient at first for me.
Good.
Sorry. I get really up in there with the, let's pinch your thumb real quick before I forget. Oh, that's another thing I was explaining to someone on YouTube that had questions about the gel and the pinching. To get more of a pinch into the gel, I really concentrate on pinching that that form more than I worry about when I do acrylic. And that way it's kind of preset in there, kind of built in. Barrel. I need to do a demo of the Night King's nails. Mm-hmm. Like, he has some wicked cool nails.
Good.
Sorry, guys. I really am going blind, I think. I have to really tuck up in there. We actually have a smaller desk now, which is helping. I'm just kind of looking down the barrel, and that's going to give me a guide on what I need to clean up too. And so I can bring in and make that nice little curve go on. Okay. Okay, let's remove these ones.
I like them both.
Ooh, I think I might like this one the best. If I could get it off.
The form's staying.
This form is stuck. It's part of the design.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. Cool. Okay, let's tuck that up with my head in the way.
No, good.
So we're really just going through with that safety bit, making sure it's nice and flush in the back, all the way through. This is just so I can remove the bulk. I don't want to have to hand file this all. Yes, we're going to continue. Sorry, what was wrong?
Head.
Oh. Yes, we are going to hand file. I have some people that ask that if you can just take the hand file out all completely. I know people that do. Personally, I think you need that refinement of the hand file just to make sure everything's nice and blended in. I've tried to get away completely from it, and I just find that it just is that extra added touch. Plus, it's when I can get my sidewalls and all that really nice. Okay, up in, up in. Like I created icicles on the side of your nails. Get rid of that. know, some people are like, if you would just spend a little more time forming, you wouldn't have that. But I'm like, for me,
You thought it was fast.
it's fast. And for me, that's just a faster way of doing it. Now, some people are like, I'd rather spend more time and concentrate on my application. In fact, Greg is this way. He likes to spend a little more time on his application, and then he files less. Whatever makes you the fastest possible. Whenever you're going as fast as you possibly can, that's your jam. Sorry, Steph.
You do.
We were just talking to before we started about how we both went to the same school, actually. Steph and I did, nail school. Different times. She's way younger. And that they taught us that you should sit sideways when you're doing nails. Like, that is just a good way to jack up your back, man. Like,
We did have, I've had some comments recently, I think it was a DM, about posture and what we can do to save our bodies. And I mean, I think the overhand grip obviously is
huge.
first. When I worked, I had a saddle stool.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, and I loved it. It was, Jill actually was seeing a physical therapist that recommended it to her. And so I got one after, and I loved it. It really, like, had my back sitting straight up, and it seemed to help quite a bit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I liked it. It wasn't very comfortable to get used to, but once I was used to it, it actually really helped.
Oh, that's a good, I could see that work. I know some people that use the balls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the big workout exercise balls.
Yes, that would be kind of similar.
Right.
The things that I can tell you is don't tweak yourself when you're doing nails, and we tend to do that. Like, we tend to, like, let me rotate my body, and I used to do it myself. I feel like I need to season this more. And you end up just killing your shoulders. You can end up killing your back. And you don't want that. So clients are to move for you. You don't move for the client.
Yeah. This is a good time for this question. I had someone asking about her nails. They would look wide, and she would file the sides, and they would get notches. And I was trying to verbally explain what you're doing right here, and it's hard without a visual. So if you wanted to go into that.
That is actually a really good question. So sometimes we're doing nails, and I feel like that one might be a little long. We'll come back to it. You'll be doing nails, and you're like, the nail looks wide. The nail looks wide. Okay, so I'll just keep on coming in here, the sidewalls, and filing, and it still looks wide. So you keep coming in, and what you end up with is a really weak side and notches in your sides, which we don't want. So what it is your sides are overhanging, and I'll show you in about 2 seconds because I need to file them a little bit more. So it'll give the illusion of a very wide nail, and it's that this isn't brought up where it's supposed to be brought up. And see how I turn her hand and I file it up? Same thing on a square nail. You want to be able to do that and get that nice and even, and that's what's going to take that wide look away. Plus, we kind of come up through here, working it and tapering it in. Any other suggestions, Steph?
That was exactly what I was trying to...
Yeah, it's kind of hard to explain on the phone.
Yeah.
But if you explain it in person, it's much easier. Because once we work the side walls, once that groove is coming straight up and down with the sidewall, we don't want to mess with it anymore because we don't want to weaken the nail. We got to fix it from the bottom. And that's what this does. And that's where that 5-point filing comes in that Greg talks about a lot. And I think we have some good videos on that too. If not, we can definitely, probably should do another one soon. Did Habib abandon us?
Yeah.
Oh, we can talk crap about him.
I know. Yep, he's out of here. He left us all alone.
He's like, just shut off the cameras. And,
yeah. Turns off the lights. He's done.
Like, how rude, man.
I think that's what he's going for with all this new equipment. He's like, I don't have to hang out with them anymore.
Like, finally, I'm free from
Everything's set up for them. They're good to go. They can do it on their own.
Like, We kind of need him. He's usually the one, I'm like, that's why it's a good thing you're paying attention if I'm getting my head in the shot, because he's usually the one literally tapping me on the back of the head. Like, you need to move, you need to move.
I'm so in love with these nails and they're not even done. I can just already tell that I love them.
It's the prettiest one.
The cutest one.
Steph's dog was here yesterday, and she always tells her dog that. You're the prettiest one. And she really is the prettiest one.
We were on a walk the other day, and some woman was like, she's a beautiful dog. I'm like, it's not just me that thinks that. I have that like, biased mother's opinion. I know, I was like, finally.
Got the recognition that she deserved. Yeah,
from a total stranger.
We tell you all the time she's pretty. I guess we don't count.
You guys kind of have to, you know. You're family, so you have to love her.
You used to paint her nails.
She would have matching nails to mine.
That's so funny.
If mine were red, hers were red. If mine were pink, hers were pink.
Too funny. Okay. You can always tell as I progress, I get better with my application and I have to do less filing. But I always say that, guys, like the first couple nails for me just don't count, because I literally, when we sit down for this, I don't practice it. Like, it's pretty fresh, just like I walked into the salon and went for it. So I always in salons like, yeah, the application will get better, especially working with acrylic, because you're kind of gauging, like, is it warm in the room? Is it cold in the room? How is the product going to flow today? And so it takes a second to really... Did Gio and Habib leave?
I think so.
Yeah, they ditched us. It's okay, we're okay with it.
Yeah.
I think I'm digging it. Always your middle fingers. Always obsessed with your middle fingers.
They're weird.
Bring it in a little bit more. It seems not as tapered as the other ones. And we're good. Let's move on. Oops, sorry, am I out of the shot?
Yeah, I was just redirecting a little.
There's a monitor now, which is very helpful, but it's not really in my line of sight, so Steph is keeping me in frame for you guys.
Your head.
And my head. There's so many moving parts. So what else can we talk about with nails? I guess we could talk about how much this would be.
Yeah.
Let's see. Full set, 90. We got a little bit of a custom shape going on. It's not extremely long. Probably just, I don't know, 10 extra?
Yeah.
So 100. And we have one glitter that was sitting on my wall that I always have, my favorite. So that's 105. We have blue Mylar, yellow Mylar, and foil. So that's 120.
And liquid art.
Oh, liquid art. That's an extra $10 a piece. So we're at 140. Liquid art, man, it's a little, it's extra. I charge extra $10 for liquid art. So.
Well, and the nice thing about what you said earlier, that I would be keeping this set, is it may be, you know, 120, 140 now. If I came in 2 weeks, it would be like a recycled set, because, you know.
Yeah, we can work off of it.
So I wouldn't be cheap. I'm not paying 130, 140 every 2 weeks. It's my first set, and then I'm going into fill pricing.
Exactly. You can work off the base.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and if a client wants to redo it, then they just pay for it. Sorry, head. I hate seeing people not charge for it. And
Well, and I get the response often that, you know, in my area, that's too much, or in my area, that's too much. And I told someone the other day, I'm like, well, does the grocery store, like, say the, you know, Ralph's or Rayleigh's in your town, does it charge less for milk than the Ralph's or Rayleigh's here? No. It's like, the product is still the same price.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good way of explaining it.
You know, and nails are a luxury. It's not a necessity, and it's not really, it is what it is. The price is just that. It's not exactly our job to change that.
Yeah, and again, if they don't want to pay, what did we say this came to? 140?
Yeah.
If you don't want to pay that and they want something still kind of reminds them of Fire and Ice, they could do like maybe a shorter set with white gel polish and red gel polish, and one gel polish comes in with the kit, the set.
Or
so,
like a glitter press on top of the nails.
Yeah, it would be beautiful.
So if they're on a budget, there's options, but if they want a set like this, it is that much.
Yep. It's just like when I go get my hair done. Like if I can't afford it, I'm not getting the deep condition. I'm not getting the straightener treatment. I'm not going to get, you know, all the extra bells and whistles that I could normally get, because at that moment I can't, but I still will walk out with beautiful hair.
Absolutely.
So that's, I think, what's important.
Well, and I think that sometimes, I know for myself, I used to be like, oh, I wouldn't pay that for those, you know, for nails like that or something, like, because I would feel like it was out of my budget, but it's not really my choice. Like, if your client wants it, your client wants it. I wouldn't necessarily pay, you know, $500 for a pair of shoes, but some people will.
It's true.
So, you know, it is what it is, you know.
Yeah. I'm not a big, like, $2,000 purse kind of person. If I don't have $2,000 to put in the purse, I'm probably not going to spend it on a purse. But there's people out there that do, and they love it. And I think more power to them. There's the stuff that I spend money on that most people, like, I literally eat out every day. Lunch, dinner, almost every single day. Mm-hmm. And if I can't afford it, of course I'm not going to. It'll be top ramen. But, you know, so it's just about choices. Yeah. What you want to spend money on.
And nails are a luxury.
Yep, they are. Okay, let's clean this up. Dust off a little bit. And actually, let's go ahead and take this and kind of really dust you off. Lots of dust today. Get our swipe. Get them nice and clean. All the way through. And let's get our protein bond.
Can you explain why you do protein bond before a top coat?
Yes. So if you notice, we don't buff. We don't do any of that. We want the surface to be nice and textured. And then I want that really just that extra added assurance that everything's not going to chip. And that's why I use protein bond. It just really is going to, I always say, if you don't want something to lift or chip, when in doubt, protein bond. And that's just going to get everything to nice and adhered. Let's go ahead and do, I'm going to use finish gel. Anya, get that down. Ooh.
I know.
The prettiest one.
The prettiest one.
Okay, I'm going to put this all the way through. So we just make sure we have a nice good amount. I find that people sometimes will remove all the excess gel top coat off their brush, and then they'll kind of work it into the nail so it's nice and shiny, and then they pull it out and it looks like there's little dust particles in the nail. And the reason why is you are kind of just, what I call that, skidding across the top. Go ahead. Of the nail, and it's not giving you a full enough coverage. So there's really no dust. It's actually, you need to put a little more product on. And this way, when I use more product, it actually goes on easier. It turns out way nicer. Okay. Ooh. I might have found my favorite one.
That's when you know it's good, when the nail tech's like, oh.
Yeah. Well, you gotta sell it too. You're like, oh my God, these nails are so amazing.
Yeah. That one is pretty
if
cool.
You're like, they're good. They're like, I ain't paying $140 for it's good. Okay. Go ahead and pop it in. Now, I personally like to cure out finish gel for 2 minutes. So I do that. I think it just gets a really nice high shine off of it. And then we're gonna oil you. And poof, you're done. You are fire and ice queen. So
now I just need to go watch Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Yes. You are to binge. Actually, you can't binge because we are going to the Pasadena show this weekend. So
yeah,
you must work. So after that, you can binge it.
Okay.
Just call in sick.
Yeah. I'll be gone next week.
Yeah.
Sound good, Habib?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Perfect.
I guess we're not supposed to say that on film.
For Game of Thrones, it's okay.
It's okay.
You heard it.
It's a legit reason.
You heard
like
it.
calling in sick.
Yeah.
It's legit. Okay. Wait. Well, I'm so impatient.
I know.
This is why it's a good thing it has a timer.
Yeah.
Because 1 minute seems like a lifetime. 2 minutes is
insane.
Forever.
Yeah.
Forever. Patience. Patience is a virtue.
Yeah.
Perfect. Oil yet? Okay, that one's done. I kind of like both.
I like them both together.
Middle fingers, though. I don't know. That's pretty cool. We are icy.
That's what's fun when you do them different, is you get to kind of, everybody has their favorite.
Yeah.
I like the elongated nail bed too.
Yeah, I'd give you a little. Fix this right there. Just a little flyaway. Give you a little more, especially when we're going longer. When I'm extending the nails kind of long like this, you don't want a short nail bed because it's just going to look funky. So you want to make sure you kind of extend them out. Okay, ma'am, pay me my $140 and then go wash on your way out.
You got it. Put it on the company card.
Perfect.
$540. Nice work.
Thank you.
We've got our Game of Thrones inspired set of nails. Tracey did them under an hour, which is pretty ridiculous, I have to say. I was pacing. I was nervous because I know, because you said an hour and I was like, I kept walking around and like showing her the time, even though she had the time like right here anyway. I kept showing it to her. Tracey, this set of nails is very unique, obviously. I love that you did Game of Thrones, my favorite show ever.
Yeah.
Talk to us about the challenge of doing the fire and ice, 2 different sets. How did it feel? How did it go?
Honestly, it was the design itself much of a challenge.
Yeah.
Because I didn't overthink it, and I think that's once I gave myself permission to not be able to do hand art.
Right.
It made things much easier.
So
like, you know what? I can do this kind of art, and
yeah.
and it's pretty, and I can't draw, so it's
right.
all good. And that took a lot of stress off of me.
We love real time because Tracey and Stephanie can actually talk through a lot of tips and tricks to help your time in the salon. We also want to make sure we're covering as much as possible to help you in the salon, which means let us know what you want to see. Share with us in the comments challenges, difficulties, or a set of nails that possibly you have no idea how this would get done in an hour. Direct us, share links, show us what you want to see. With that, we'll say thank you for joining us. See you next time on Real Time.